Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today guys, we're going to talk about what is better, a Polaris 425 4-stroke or a Polaris 85 2-stroke. What's better, 2 or 4? Let's find out. Wait a minute, I'll be right back. There we go. I've got the pros and cons list. Let's get to it. Okay, so we're back. So we're going to talk about what is better, 2 or 4. Well, there's some pros and cons about it. For one thing, about a 2-stroke, you already probably know about the seals going wrong for a con, and a con on this one is the stator on this kind of brand. So let's talk about the 2-stroke for a 250. I got one right there in the corner, and my 4-stroke right here that's kind of down at the moment. It's kind of a little dirty, but needs some cleaned up. Stay tuned, because if you want to, I put this other video in the link, but we're going to talk about what things to go wrong on a 2 or 4-stroke for Polaris, Trail Boss, and Trailblazer, because they're common for this to happen. Sneak peek. And we're going to talk about how to see if their stator is good or bad. Okay, let's get to it. So, let's start with this. If you see this right here, these are common. If you notice all the oil on this thing has an oil flipping mess. Like, look, holy shit! I'm just surprised about what happened to this thing. It feels like someone flipping blew it up. It feels like a flipping oil box blew up. It feels like all the oil flipping exploded. Look, all that flipping. Looks like someone flipping took dirt and put it in there. It's been sitting for a while. So let's start off right here. So, if you notice in these older seals, remember, the con about these things are you gotta mix your oil. Let's go over here to this one. Pros and cons here. I have a 2-stroke right here. Cons about it is this one don't have the oil injector anymore, like you're thinking. Oh, Braxton, does it have an oil injector? No, it don't. If you notice, we mix 40 to 1. This thing runs off 40 to 1. Starter is this thing is one of my nicest 4-wheeler I've ever got. Nicest 4-wheeler. It's been rebuilt probably twice. So what I'm saying was, common things on these 2-strokes are the spark plug. One thing bad about a spark plug is, if you're running lean, you gotta watch out on these. You gotta watch out. Christmas is coming. So if you notice on these things have common issues down here at the bottom end. You gotta pull this off, pull the flywheel. You gotta have a special tool for that. You pull the oil seal. You gotta pull the stator out on these 250s. And if you see that seal, you just pop that seal out with this screw on there, and just take the nail of your hammer and pull it off. If you notice, so for example, let's go over here. So here's an example that came out of that one. Actually came out of this. So if you notice how, that ring in there. There's no ring in there. There's a ring in there. Or there's not a ring in there. Someone stupid enough ripped it out. It was not me, I promise. So what I was saying was, there's a ring in here that's like a bead. It's like one of those spring-loaded things. If it gets a little wrinkle in it, let's see, guys. For example, let's say, let's just say this is it for oil, but I had the right stuff. Or this stuff right here, guys. Oh, I got it. This is 2-stroke. I learned a lot of Lucas stuff in my flipping Polarises. Let's get to it. I want to stop talking. Let's just talk the right way. Talk really smooth. So these things. So let's say we're dumping the oil on inside the can. Let's say you're running oil injected right here, for example, or you're mixing into the fuel tank. Like say 40 to 1, 3 gallons is 3 gallons, 10 ounces. There you go. And right here, I run 40 to 1. You guys probably run 50 to 1, knowing ya, or 40 to 1 in your Polaris 2-strokes, knowing how old they are. If you notice right here, you're running down the road, say you're just revving it up, going or trail riding. You notice how these things get warped in here? On the crankshaft side, for example, on this one don't have a problem because it's a 4-stroke. These things are common for getting broke in there. Then it causes a little air path. Some air starts sucking into it, right? Then after that, the seal, this gets hot. For example, let's just put it on here. Might not be able to get it off. For example, this can get hot when it's moving. So it's example, and that gets locked up right here. So then these bearings won't spin anymore. After that seal, when it starts sucking air, it gets hot, so it gets locked on there, for example. Now I can get it off still. Like this one. Here's an example. This one's so stuck on there, it melted to it. That got melted to it. So this, and here we go. This is an example of what happens when you're running lean. When these seals go out, you can start to hear chips going inside your exhaust. And this is what happens. It's not the wrist pin that falls out, it's the piston that blows up. The piston flipping blows up. Say goodbye to it. Wow. That's what happens. You know how there's supposed to be a chunk over here? It's gone. That's a piece of shit. Goodbye. Goodbye. Well, we didn't need that no more. Okay. So, now, another common problems on them are the bearings on these right here. This is what's bad on this bearing. This was on my last 4-roller. See, this is supposed to be doing that. That's why you can probably take the pull start cover off and probably just say this, okay, let's just move this around. You can move that flipping flywheel around. Says, oh, that ain't good. And now you can tell your seal's going bad and your bearing's warped. Okay, now, hey guys, I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. So now, we're gonna talk with the 4-stroke. Common problems. Well, this one don't got that many problems. The only thing I can compare about them is the stator. The stator and a water pump and mostly the Woodruff key on these 425s. And you can mess up your timing because I've had those problems happen. So, let's start off with, oh, wait a minute. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, we're back. So, this is the original one off this 4-roller. And what I was saying was, let's start off with, well, technically, the water pumps are common on 4-strokes to go bad, but I'm just going to say they're kind of common. I just don't want to say that to give you guys bad luck. I probably am giving you bad luck already. And probably giving me bad luck, knock on wood. So what I was saying was, the stator. I don't have the example of my stator because it's buried on all those flipping parts. Well, guys, welcome back. Not welcome back, it's time to talk some shit about 4-stroke. I hate 4-stroke. Sorry, no offense. I'm actually talking to you guys. So what I'm saying was, only thing I like about a 4-stroke is their power to the bottom end. A 2-stroke has some top end power, they're snappy. A 4-stroke don't got that much for power. If you notice, there's a water pump. I had to replace that 5 times. How many times have I had to replace anything behind here? A lot. They're common. So what I was saying was, the most common failure is these pieces. If you know what these pieces are that goes in here, they are a camshaft. The camshafts are mostly a piece that makes the bottom end spin. If you notice this, that's how it makes it spin. See that gear right there? The gear chain goes all the way up here, blah, 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 blah. And there's a thing right here that makes it turn up and down. Makes it turn up and down, up and down. If that ain't, let's say, if that timing gear right here ain't hooked up, say this ain't hooked up right, this ain't timed right, the spark and everything else up here in the timing chain in the valves will be off the set to bend. So if you notice any wear on here, that's from the timing was off. I had a black spark plug when I pulled it off. And this happened. It bent this valve, making it hard to get out, and it vapor locked itself. Like, here's a good valve. Here's a clean valve. This one's brand new. This one's brand new. we don't use this oil. There's a crankcase box on them that make them work. And plus, I'm going to tell you this. These things can run forever if you take care of them. This one was not built properly. Apparently, they say this one's been rebuilt twice. Rebuilt, but I don't believe them. It came off the floor back in 1998. I don't believe that, but it's already done for. This thing, someday I'm going to rebuild it. I got the frame sitting out in storage. It just sits there like this. It's a clean motor. I could probably fix it. The hardest thing is the flywheel went out of it and when the timing gear went out of it. So all I got now is all these pieces, and I got to order tons of parts. Maybe in another episode, if you want to see that, I will completely fix that four-wheeler. If you want me to. What I was saying was, good thing about a four-stroke is you can't break these seals. There's no seals on a four-stroke. Technically there is. People say there isn't. But you can't break these. These, one thing about a four-stroke, two-stroke was you got to replace the seals every like 5 or 6 years than a four-stroke. A four-stroke will have less maintenance. A two-stroke will have more maintenance because you got to keep up with the problems. We got to keep up with it. This one is technically easy, but hardest thing is there's more pieces like a radiator, hoses, make sure there's no leaks in the oil line, make sure the intercooler works, make sure the oil lines work, make sure it's pumping oil flew fine. Make sure everything's working good. But I'm just going to... But guys, that's all I have for you today. So what I was saying was, just throw down in the comments below, what do you think would be a better... What do you think's better? A two-stroke like one of those, for example, here's the older picture of another one I had. Or a four-stroke. What do you think's better? In my common period of time, I've had the best luck with these. They're cheap to get parts for. I can get parts for them like this. It's about, let's say for Polaris, they can't get these parts much anymore. They can't get these motors much anymore. Like I can get these. And plus, they're valve. These are valve timed. These aren't. There's some good commons. And look, that's what it came out of. Right there. And plus, what I was saying was, what do you think's better in your opinion? I'm technically rambling, if you notice. But in my opinion, I would stick with the Polaris. Or I would stick with Sneak Peek. Thanks, guys, and have a great day. If you want to see more videos, go down to my link, and I'll go into my comments below, and I have the link sitting down there for pros and cons on a Polaris flywheel, and maybe more and some more content coming to you soon. Thanks, guys, and you got it. A trucker brought it. Thanks.